I don't think I've ever seen a film where, after watching it, it really gave me a eye-opening experience. In a way, like, say, hey, it really tried to, like, made me think of different perspectives and things going on in life. Because say you're looking at, the film My Dinner with Andre. Um, it was written and starring Andre Gregory and Wallace Shawn as fictionalized versions of themselves sharing conversation at a cafe in Manhattan. And the film's dialogue covers topics such as experimental theater, the nature of theater, and the nature of life in contrast of Andre's spiritual experiences with Wally's modest humanism. Honestly, at first I'm going to say this, that at first I thought, like, watching this film, like, say, in a way, like, say, I feel like, say, the character of Wally, he is almost like, say, the guy that's, like, like, say, hey, the actor, like, who's, just, like, trying to do every day one step ahead. Whereas it seems like the character of Andre, like, he has been in the business wherever, like, he's been involved in theaters for quite many years. He's had, from the way the film is written, like, say, some wonderful stories of experiences and all that. I feel like, say, sometimes, like, when I'm talking to, um, one of the owner, the creators of the show, Mr. King, like, we've both talked about, like, in the past how, um, like, we are both, like, the best friend of the other in a way, and that we've known each other since middle school, and I can honestly see, like, us getting into some a psychological or um discussion in a similar way. Like, maybe we would just go to like a pizza place. Maybe we would just have I don't know, like, just having a slice of pizza, and it was just like, say, hey, we're gonna have a slice of pizza, we're gonna have some dessert and all that, and just talk about life and all that. And how, like, many years ago and all that, like, hey, things have been, different. Like, like, how's things have you been since, like, I left, like, my home state many years ago, or blah, 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 and all that. And I really do think that um, the actors for the film, they do a good job. They really get you invested in, like, like, the conversation. They really get you thinking.
We live in this dream world because we do so many things every day that affect us in ways that somehow we're just not aware of. And I was thinking, now last Christmas, Debbie and I were given an electric blanket. And I can tell you that it is just such a marvelous advance over our old way of life, and it is just great. But it is quite different from not having an electric blanket. And I sometimes sort of wonder, well, what is it doing to me?
And I will say that this is a very interesting film, in that it's like, say, at times you're just like, say, huh. At first, like, you think, like, these two characters are a bit in a way total opposites in their perspectives. It'd be like, say, me talking to one of my friends about theater, and then suddenly it being in this going into a discussion about um opera, because he is the he's interested in opera, and I like theater and film, and so it's like, two different perspectives in life. And yeah, the honestly, like, say, yes, I thought the actors do a great job. I do think that if the like one of the ways, if, like, say, the shots, the lighting and all that, if it was to give us a very um almost personal story of like say, hey, suddenly we are in a box theater or around. If you're wondering what a round is, a round in a theater is like say, hey, the stage is center, and the audience is basically around that the stage, so they would get this perspective, that perspective, or this perspective. They would get all sides of these, like the way the actors are performing the way.
Do to us, Wally, living in an environment where something as massive as the seasons, or winter or cold, don't in any way affect us. I mean, we're animals after all. I mean, what does that mean? I think that means that instead of living under the sun and the moon and the sky and the stars, we're living in a fantasy world of our own making.
Yeah, but I mean, I would never give up my electric blanket, Andre. I mean, because New York is cold in the winter. I mean, our apartment is cold. It's a difficult environment. I mean,
And yes, like see the way they are able to delve each little segment of it is all fairly interesting. And you really do, and like I'm gonna also say like the way the film made me question things, it made me think, you know, I want to talk to, like, like a friend or something, like say, hey, like sometimes I feel lonely or something like that, and at times it's like I don't, I'm afraid to like make that connection with another person because I don't want suddenly the the sense of like, hey, I'm vibing off this person, but then suddenly it's, I mean, we're vibing on another thing, but then suddenly you're worried about the thing that you have a connection with suddenly not being as prevalent because in your mind you have like say, hey, one of your passions, and you have a similar like passion at the same time. It's like say, hey, I like this too, and at the same time it's like, huh, well, that's fun. Like like say, hey, sharing the experience of going to a theater with another friend or something of that nature. I just really thought about it a lot. I really thought fairly a lot, I'll say. And the way, like, at the end of the film, in which the servers and all the maitre d's at the end of the film are just saying, hey, we're closing up, and we have the narration with Wallace Shawn explaining, like, say, hey, Andre paid for the meal and all that.
I treated myself to a taxi. I rode home through the city streets. There wasn't a street, there wasn't a building that wasn't connected to some memory in my mind. There, I was buying a suit with my father. There, I was having an ice cream soda after school.
And we went on our own ways. And now, like, how he's on his way home, he's just, like, looking through the windows and just, like, remembering things, like, over there, and over there. Like, I could probably do the exact same. Like, like, uh, like if I was going out with someone, then suddenly I say, hey, like, like, I know that's just Subway, but I've gone there so many times, so I have so many memories. Like, like, suddenly having a sandwich, or something else, or heck, here's my favorite, like, bakery that I like to go to, or some of that. But or a theater and something else, like say, hey, this one I have a bit of a connection to because when I first started living here, or something of that nature. So yeah, I thought this film really got to me. It really got to me on a emotional level. It got to me emotionally, is how what I'm trying to say. But overall, I thought this was a really good film. I'll see you next time.